Students, hope you all are well. So, we have started in the previous class the chapter Force, Work, and Energy. In previous day's class, we have already discussed about force and what are their effects. Now, in today's class, we are going to talk about what are the types of force we have. First, we will discuss about magnetic force. Now, magnet is a substance which attracts iron nails. Now, whenever we keep a magnet and around it, if we place up to a certain distance any magnetic object like iron nails, what we will see? We see that it will be attracted towards it. Now, how this attraction happens? Now, whenever we are putting any nail around a magnet, it immediately pulls it towards the magnet. Here, the force which is being applied by that pull is called magnetic force. So, what will be its definition? Its definition will be the force applied by a magnet on an object is called magnetic force, or we call this phenomenon as magnetism. Next, we have the another type of force, that is electrostatic force. Now, to understand this, a simple experiment we can do. In winter season especially, when you comb your dry hair for several times with a comb, after that, if you take that comb and if you bring tiny bits of paper around it, you will see that comb is attracting those pieces of paper. For a certain time only it will happen. So, by what force it exactly pulls the paper, that is basically called electrostatic force. Now, next we have another type of force, that is called or gravitational force. To understand that, we have a very simple example, that is, whenever we drop any object, it goes down. Means Earth is pulling that object towards itself. Now, what force Earth is applying on that object to pull it towards its center of gravity? It is called gravitational force. Now, next type of force that we have, that is buoyant force. Now, to understand this, we will take a simple example. Suppose you are taking a ball in your hand, and after that you are putting it inside the water. When you are putting it inside the water, you will observe that one upward force is acting on it. Now, by this upward force, actually, water is giving to this object so that the ball is going up. Now, the force which is been applied, we call this type of force is Bowen force. So, what will be its definition? The upward force acting on an object in water force. Now, next we have the force of friction. Now, what is force of friction? Suppose you roll a ball on a floor. Gradually, if you observe that ball, you will see that ball is gradually slows down and finally it stops. Now, how it stops? That means there some force is being applied from the opposite side. That particular force we call it frictional force. So how we can define it? A force that slows down the movement of an object on the surface is called force of friction. Sometimes it can be called as force of resistance also.